Hi there. Real quick before we jump into the episode. If you enjoy this episode, or any of the other episodes, be sure to give us a follow or subscribe. It would also be great if you shared it with a friend, or better yet, left a review so others can know how awesome it is. Thanks so much. And now, the episode.
Hey there, Press Starters, and welcome to the Press Start Leadership Podcast, the podcast about game-changing leadership, teaching you how to get the most out of your product and development team and become the leader you were meant to be. Leadership coaching and training for the international game industry professional. Now, let me introduce you to your host, the man, the myth, the legend, Christopher Mifsud.
Hey there, Press Starters, and welcome back to another awesome edition of the Press Start Leadership Podcast. On this week's episode, I'm discussing the 3 worst books for new leaders. All right, so let's talk about it. The 3 worst books for new leaders. Be wary when you read these titles. When you pursue a career in leadership, well-intentioned leaders and mentors often want to help. It's common for those who came before you to share what was recommended to them, which is great. Philosophies have changed over time, though, and some of them are more harmful than helpful. There are 3 books I've seen constantly suggested for new leaders throughout my career, and while they can be helpful, it's not for the reasons you might think. Here are 3 books I don't recommend if you want to become a great leader. How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie. This book is the least dangerous of the 3, but I wouldn't consider its teachings positive. While it's true that navigating people takes skill, this book does what it says. It teaches you to win and influence, and it does so with manipulation tactics. How to Win Friends and Influence People has been incredibly popular over the years. So many leaders you encounter come from this line of thinking. While I don't suggest you apply the lessons from this book, read it to see when people are applying it against you. The Art of War, Sun Tzu. Again, this is not the worst book on this list, but I also don't think it's a great book for leaders. At its core, it's military theater being sold to leaders with the idea that it helps them maneuver their way through corporate life. If you're following the path of the servant leader, this is not the treatise on that. However, leaders from military backgrounds often subscribe to this philosophy, and it's quoted more than almost any other book on leadership. Different situations call for different tactics, and it's good to know them. So read this book and put it in your utility belt, Batman. The Prince, Niccolo Machiavelli. So this is it. The book I absolutely don't recommend for any reason. The Prince, in my opinion, has no business in, well, business. It's all about the subterfuge of other ruling princes in Italy, and full of moral ambiguity, as well as plenty of other issues. This book was commonly recommended for the Wolf of Wall Street types in the 1980s. You know, the guys in power suits who are brokering deals and gobbling up cocaine like Charlie Sheen on Wall Street. It's usually assholes that take advice from this book, so stay far, far away. Becoming a leader should be your choice to use your power for awesome, not for evil. So be careful what you read. If you need a little help finding that awesome, please check out the 3 books I do recommend for new leaders. Listen to my podcast and contact me for some one-on-one coaching. That's this week's episode of Press Start Leadership Podcast. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, thanks for being awesome. Give us a follow, a like, a share, and even a review if you feel like it. We'd really appreciate it. Cheers. If you haven't downloaded my free ebook, 5 Heroic Leadership Skills, click on the link in the description. Tune in next week for your next episode of Press Start Leadership Podcast. Thank you. Oh, hi there. The episode's over, but thanks for sticking around till the end. If you're on the quest to elevate your team's leadership, production, or game design capabilities, I'm here to assist. Leveraging extensive experience and a strategic approach, I offer personalized audits, bespoke workshops, and leadership retreat facilitation to drive your team toward excellence. My commitment is to provide efficient, reliable, and proven support, ensuring you have the tools and insights needed to thrive. Ready to unlock your team's full potential and achieve unparalleled success? Don't hesitate to press start on your journey to transformation today. Feel free to reach out directly to discuss how we can tailor a solution to meet your unique needs and goals. Let's connect and take your team's performance to the next level.